All right, so we're at the step of when we left the sewing machine last, we had finished boxing our corners. So here's my bag. And we have, as you can see, boxed the corners in. And I always just do a double check on my sewing to make sure everything is secure. It's a good idea to go and do a second stitch line for all the weight. Pull it right side. Okay. And then at this stage, I just do a really good inspection, but you can see how nicely the two sides line up. So we're going to have a nice zipper pocket in the front, and it's really nice and deep. And then on the other side of our bag, we have a very nice deep zipper pocket also. So we need to make the connectors for our bag. And this is going to be our strap connectors. So I use 1-inch webbing. I take 6 inches of 1-inch webbing, make 2 identical pieces. Then I take a 1-inch, you could use any kind of D-ring that you want to use. These happen to be silver. And I fold it in half. Now, I like to put a rivet in mine. So I have this really nice cam press that ends up being quite an investment if you want to get a cam press and all the different dies. I think it probably initially was probably about $450, but I don't regret it. So on this one, I went ahead and just put a rivet right in the center. You can also, like I said, sew back and forth with some black thread. You want to make sure the thread is black. Or you can also just get a hand kit to put in a rivet. So lots of different ways to do that. So because this is nylon, you're going to want to make sure that you burn the edges. So just like I showed you when we did the zipper, that after you have that installed, you're going to want to come with a lighter or a candle. If I'm doing a whole bunch of these at one time, I will just light a little candle. It makes it a lot easier because the lighter gets kind of a little warm. All right. So the next step is you take your piece that you're going to connect your bag strap to, and to the outside of your bag, I line it up, and this is 3 inches. 1, 2, 3. And I use 1-inch nylon webbing. So you want to place it upside down, and I mark 1 inch up. And this is where I'm going to want to sew this into place. So I leave 1 inch hanging over because when we turn the bag and we flip it the other direction at the very end, it'll all make sense. I add another rivet. So that way this bag is very, very secure because it has a seam now to hold the strap on. It gets another seam when we put the two pieces together. It gets another seam when you're doing the top stitching. And then on top of that, it gets an additional rivet. So you can make it 1 inch, and you can even go up to 1.5 inches. So it kind of depends on the seam allowance that you're leaving here. I find 1 inch is just fine. So I clip that on. I'm going to want to do that on both sides of the bag. So this is one side, You're going to want to come to the other side of the bag. Line it up so you know exactly where your 3 inches are. Sew it on. All right, and then that is the first part of the bag. We've completed the whole outside of our water bottle bag.